I'm a firm believer that details matter. How we do anything is how we do everything. Player data has helped us really fine-tune the details. It allows us to help the student athletes make sure that we're taking care of them first, their health and well-being, but then pushing them to the levels that maybe they didn't believe they could.
I think player data just keeps everything super basic, which is the most important thing. They don't overcomplicate things. They give you the most important metrics. You can look at them live in training. I think that's the most important thing. I have an iPad with me at all times and I can track what's happening out there.
One of the biggest differentiators for player data is that it allows me to stay centralized in one location, to be able to oversee over 100 athletes on any given day and still allow the level of detail that I want to dive into. And player data allows me the freedom to do that.
Frankly, my lack of understanding of statistics is not my area of forte, and I was afraid to be left alone with all this data and what to do with it. But with player data, that's not the case. They have a team of sports scientists that's right there with you and helps you make the sense out of the most complicated pieces of data.
I think where, player data, the way they've structured their reports and just, has been awesome, because where it's very easy to use, within 10 minutes after practice, like once we get our player data units back on the charging docks, where those edge units upload very quickly, they sync very quickly. If you do the live stream, the data is available for you within seconds, and it allows you to sit there and get reports out to the coaching staff in a fast manner, to where they can look at it and look at things before they go through the rest of their progressions of their day.
We're able to see what volume is, we're able to see what intensity is from training session to training session. So using that data, using that information, of course we use the eye test. We communicate with our athletes as to how are they feeling. Particularly on a day like today, we are 2 days post-match, but we're coming up on 2 days off. So we want to kind of balance what we do versus pushing them too hard. But again, the technology is valuable in giving us useful feedback.
It makes performance objective. It's one thing for a coach to give their opinion, but you can't argue with the computer and what you did or didn't do. It's created some competitive environments. It's given us numbers that we know we should be hitting. We have our athletic trainers in all of our accounts and they can see all of our data too, so we're working in conjunction together with the sports performance, athletic training, sports coaches, and our student athletes.
I think the value of GPS at the younger age groups and the grassroots level would be that it very easily captures and exposes the areas of strengths and weaknesses at a very early age. So it's allows you to better target areas of physical development in a game that is growing a lot physically in terms of the physical demands of the game. I am very passionate about my job and I love this industry and my role specifically because I'm better able to quantify the growth that we see in players.
I think it would be very helpful in the recruiting process if, clubs were using a product like player data. We could see, their top speed. We could see the numbers, but when we go to the field, we can see if that's matching up with our eye test.
Player Data has been able to bring a reasonably cost product to be able to help us take that technology that's now out there and use it on a day-to-day basis, particularly at a Division III club in the U.S. here. We don't have the funds as maybe some of our first division friends, but we're able to do almost everything we need to with Player Data.
The more information you have, the more positive things you can do with it. Right? And so I think where the data that player data can provide to someone, right, if there is access to that at the high school level or in different AAU organizations and things of that nature, where it takes out the guesswork once again, and it allows you to be more specific with what you're doing and know what was taking place and what type of stress it's putting on the athletes of the particular sport you're looking at.